Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, participating in this summer summit is a profound honor and a privilege. Allow me to express my gratitude for this remarkable opportunity. My message is that greatest motivation often arises when the prospect of substantial change is within reach. So I am pleased to know that after 2 decades of stagnation in the enlargement processes, voices have finally emerged from the highest echelons of European Union politics, and those voices have set a new objective, the integration of candidate countries into the European Union by 2030. In this speech, I will try to share my experience as a former leader of one anti-corruption initiative in order to help to facilitate the fulfillment of conditions especially in the field of rule of law, to help this process go a little bit faster. I have come to realize that genuine reforms entail much more than mere alteration of laws and the empowerment of implementing institutions. For a successful progression, it is imperative to conduct supportive pillars of democracy, to strengthen them. In nations undergoing transitions and aspiring for full European Union membership, I see 3 key areas, 3 supporting pillars of democracies. One of them is to strengthen individual identity, in contrary to ethnical or majority groups. Another thing is to strengthen the identity of independent institutions in contrast to clientelism. And the third is to strengthen the balance and the control of political power in contrast to state captivity. But before I go into this speech, I would like to share something with you which resonates with all the topics that we have talked about yesterday. At one point Mr. Mark Donfried asked what is cultural diplomacy? And during the day, we had heard that cultural diplomacy helps to build understanding between different ethnic groups. It helps build tolerance and seeking for peaceful solution of conflicts. But maybe it is even much more than that. A couple of months ago, I have visited the German Bundestag. I was in a study visit to see how oversight role of the parliament over government works in practice. And all the meetings were held in that impressive building, which all over the place have many art artifacts all around, so you can watch them and learn from them. And my heart always lies in parliaments, because that's the place where many forces which fought with each other have to work together to find a solution. Position and opposition, many rivals and adversaries. It's a place where voices of all citizens should be heard in order to find a solution to bring one nation move forward. So I'm always impressed with parliaments all over the world. But Bundestag is even much more than that. Walking through the building, I saw walls that even had its own story. When Bundestag was reconstructed and rebuilt, someone thoughtfully put pieces of destroyed Berlin after the Second World War. And on those pieces of bricks, there were signs, there were messages, insignias from soldiers from Soviet Union at that time. In one of them, you can see that they have written Kiev. So, in my perspective, what cultural diplomacy could be, it could be a reminder of who we are or who we used to be. It reminds us that we were not always enemies or adversaries, and even in times when we were that, we were not only that. And that probably could serve to heal wounds that will bring in nowadays to help us build peaceful societies in a near future. So let me back to my speech. In a way, I see Bundestag and German political infrastructure as a huge inspiration, but I see Croatia as well. Croatia's continuous journey within the European Union can serve as a valuable learning experience because even after 10 years of full European Union membership, we are still not where we thought we would be so far. This ongoing process of progress, regressions, ups and downs holds immense potential to guide the candidate states that will follow our footsteps. Croatia is not only the last nation that has joined the European Union, it is also a country that endured aggression and conflict in recent history. In the post-war era, the perception of wartime achievements significantly influenced the selection of the political party or political option that has assumed power. And consequently, that political power has ruled over a remarkable duration. And during that period, vital institutions, even our territorial design, our electoral system were tailored to align with the interests of that political parties. A network of loyalists was placed into key positions across various government branches at all levels. And this intricate system was rooted in personal collections, but also went unnoticed by international experts when they evaluate Croatia's readiness. Clientelism and corruption was emanated from strong personal bonds, bolstered by political and economic influence, positions of authority, and state-founded allocations. Political campaigns often have invoked war achievements and attitudes towards specific ethnic or social groups, such as war veterans, or unresolved disputes from the past. Considering the challenges and dilemmas that candidate countries will inevitably confront, I firmly believe that meaningful assistance can be offered by exploring beyond the surface of adopted laws and established institutions. It is imperative to dwell into the practical implementation and tangible outcomes. Expert guidance and evaluations from European Union bodies should transcend mere formality, as was the case with Croatia when they assessed our readiness for full membership. Rather, we should all look deeply and scrutinize the dynamics between different political and social stakeholders. While many laws may be the same or mirror those of other European Union member states, their execution can never be the same, not accurate, not adequate, because enforcement rests in the hands of individuals who may not meet the fundamental criteria of objectivity and impartiality. And that could have far-reaching consequences, because unprepared or inadequately prepared democracies will have their own problems in keeping up with the pace of the rest of the European Union member states, but also there will be a problem for the European Union to uphold the shared values and democratic norms established by the European Union. Second pillar is strengthening identity of independent institutions versus clientelism. Corruption remains an enduring challenge across all European Union candidate countries. And that problem arises when we see that many countries have specific cases solved, but systematic success still missing. One of the reasons, or prevailing perception, is that institutions don't have adequate resources. And it is worth to mention that even Republic of Croatia still had that problem of institution not having enough resources to deal with the systematic corruption. So don't be discouraged if anything was not established yet or achieved yet. If the European Union generally aspires to establish functional democracies, We need to go deeper into the causes, origins, and manifestations of corruption. Evaluating the judiciary will not be sufficient if you look only to the laws or statistics or to metrics, how many judges or public prosecutors one state has. We need to go into evaluating how many human resources there are, how well their education, ongoing education works, what is their logistical support. And we also have to conduct investigations about the whole environment that facilitates the detection, prevention, and punitive action against all misuse of public funds for private purposes. These criteria should be very strict, and we also need to look how the key persons in different institutions are being elected. It is necessary that we develop a system for selection that will be based on achievements, accomplishments, and merits, rather than political affiliation, obedience, or loyalty to ruling party. And that will always be a challenge, because in many countries we see the election system which favors the ruling party choosing key persons in independent institutions. And the third pillar is trying to strengthen the power control over state captivity. Statistics from the World Bank reveal that a third of the North Macedonian population faces poverty risks. Comparative to many nations, citizens always focus towards socio-economic concerns rather than democratic standards and institution building. So the economic inactivity leads to political inactivity and dependency of government that dispense social benefits crucial for their survival, often in return for political alliance. So the European Union should devise tailored initiatives and measures backed by the investments and subsidies from the European Union funds aimed at alleviating citizens' economic security and independence. This in turn will establish a fertile ground for constructive criticism and authority scrutiny. It serves to foster control as opposed to obedience to authority, and this is the fundamental prerequisite for establishing a thriving democracy. Thank you.